Good evening, YouTube. This is Kaylin String coming at you with my regular Sunday night dinner stream. And tonight, as I promised last week, this is a 2021 pack. I thought it was 20, then the sender, who is Tracy Phillips, he let me know that this was a 2021 pack, so I corrected that in my postings. This is the 24-hour Humanitarian daily ration. This one is menu 1, and he told me the packer. So this is AmeriQuall little tag. That way I would remember it. It does not. Other reviewers have done some of these. This is French and this is Spanish. Of course, it says open at top. So it's supposed to have a little seal. Just had like the running title, just kept printed down the length of bag. There is Tracy in the house. Let's see, we got Pete, got Gil of Camp Patton Family. Let's see here. I think that's it so far. So I got water on the stove. And we'll see if this peelable seal works. Sometimes with these American ration bags, sometimes and put my thumbnail. And it's going to work this time. Pretty clean open. And as typical with AmeriQuall packaging, I can just dispense with this thing. In an inner bag, and it has on the bean salad bag. So that's interesting. So we've got the 2 retorts on the top. I should have to pull this one down first. This one says beans with potatoes, but from what I've seen from other reviewers, it was all bean and no spud. See if I can get this to focus on. Hope you got a good look at that. So that's the beans with potatoes. And then this other one. This says bean salad. And I've seen the bean salad from other reviewers, and it does not look like a bean salad that I have eaten before. So I'm going to treat this like another hot entree, and I'm going to heat both of these. So here we have the silver packaging. So this is going to wreak havoc with the camera. Strawberry jam. There's supposed to be 2 of these, I think. Got an oatmeal cookie. And on the other side of this, it shows a picture instruction on how to open the pouch. I guess how to eat the cookie. This is a sunflower butter, which replaced the peanut butter because they want to avoid peanut allergies. And this feels kind of bloated, but I think that might be because this one was pretty much filled to the max. Got the crackers. And this labeling is on both sides, just the normal printing on both sides. And this is the weird thing that is in these. Banana apple smoothie. And this stuff is pretty thick. A smoothie you would think like a shake of that consistency. There is, let's see, Cajun Hydroponics in the house. Thanks for dropping in. So I got away to deal with that. And then here is, got the nutrition facts card for the entrees. Nothing on the back. Shows, again, pictures of how to open the pouch and eat it. And then the last thing that comes in here, the spoon is outside of the accessory pack. And here is the other strawberry jam. I will only be opening one of those. So I will be using the ration bag as my trash bag, which is what I always do. So I will not be needing this. So inside of this accessory pack, get a little packet of pepper and a little packet of salt. This is the same brand that has packed sugar packets for like the halal rations, or some of the civilian rations that you may get from AmeriQuall or Sapaco or Warnick. And you get one wet wipe. This is supposed to be a 24-hour ration, but you only get one wet wipe. And of course, like all the other reviewers have done, I am not going to split it up into 3 meals because there is just not a whole lot of food here. So I will be opening the strawberry jam, one of them. I will keep one aside. And because these have no drinks in them, I am going to add my own. So I'm going to have a French vanilla cappuccino from Minotaur Trading Company and an MRE Star Fruit Punch Power Stick. There is Stanton Shenanigans. That is Carla in the house. Rachel Sunshine Side of Life 77 is here. There's Fat Man Prepper in the house. Thank you all for joining in. What I usually do first, I will mix the cold drink. A lot of these take forever to fully dissolve. And I'm putting it in my drinking jar. This is actually my second drinking jar. I made a mistake with one that my mom gave me years ago in one of my reviews, and I made too many hot drinks in it, and I broke it. So I found another one on eBay. It's not the same. One is hers, this one is the ball, the other one I don't remember what it was. This one has a slight yellowish tinge to it, but it is a drinking jar, not for canning, but it looks like a canning jar. And you can put a regular canning lid on it, but I can put up to 13 ounces in it. Pardon the street noise, I have my slider open because it got up to 58 Fahrenheit here today. I think these are meant to go into a 20 ounce or 500 ml bottle. But I don't feel like digging out my Minotaur mug because that's the only clear one that I have that holds 500 mils. It doesn't look like it's been overused. Doxy Mom is here. Thanks for dropping in. Spicy Tuna Rolls is here. So there is a French vanilla cappuccino. What I'm going to do is take these in the kitchen, put them in my pot, and then I'll bring back the water for my coffee, and I'll be right back. I just took the kettle back into the kitchen just to get it out of the way. The prep for it is here. Thanks for dropping in. Good to see you here. James, the Ration Museum stream was the web work for the site. Get some the site so that they can easily load on whatever device is being is my house. Thanks for dropping in. I'm going to go ahead and open up the and the crackers. The squeaker. No oxygen absorber in with the cookie. But it's a good solid cookie. Got the crackers here. Didn't get a hiss off of it. Let's see what these things look like. I'm going to place these. I think these feel like they might have got a little bent inside since these are almost vacuum packed inside of the inner bag. They're pretty clean in there. These look like the typical MRE crackers. This will be the top side, and I guess this is the bottom. Edge on this one got a little toasty. They are very, very crumbly, as you saw there. Now, I have a bowl for this so-called smoothie. I'm actually going to knead it up a little bit. So here's a tear notch. I'm going to make sure I get it down below where the tear notch is pretty low on here. It should be up higher. That way there's less risk of having a big mess. I think it's going to be a big mess because I'm having a hard time pulling this open. Well, I got a corner off, and that's really what I wanted. So I'm going to squeeze it out into this bowl. See how thick that is? That's not a smoothie, that's a pudding. It's like a fruit pudding. I'm going to call that good. So this is what this pudding looks like. And that little lick I had, there's a very strong cinnamon flavor in here. It almost tastes like applesauce, but it's more of a fruit puree, like a pudding. It's got that pudding look to it. Before I open the jam and the peanut butter, I'm going to go get the mains because I think they should be done by now. I'll be right back. I am back. Maybe not a caramel. There could be some in there, but I hardly doubt it. I think they go away. I don't think there would be any dairy in something like this. Got a paper towel to dry these off. I keep bumping this foam out. Sorry about that. So this one is the bean salad. I'm drying off the other one. Someone in a comment said, posted on one of my posts. I'd have to look to see if it was a Facebook ration group post or my community tab or whatever, or maybe it was in Ration Museum chats. Said you better like beans. Yeah, I like beans. I will just get that out of the way so I can get the tray back in the frame. So this is the beans with potatoes. And although the tear notches go this way, I'm going to cut them across here. I'm going to put the beans with potatoes here. I can actually see one potato, maybe two. Oops, sorry about that. This foam mount is not the most stable thing, but I've had it for years. And I've only had to super glue the foam clamp at the pivot point. So this is the beans with potatoes. Let's see, CT is in the house. Thanks for dropping in. I'm going to do the same thing with this bean salad. Now you can see how nearly identical they look in color. Looks like there might be a bit of carrot in here. There's a couple of different beans. I see red beans. I think the bigger ones might be a kidney bean. There might be a third bean in here. Whereas this one, it's a little bit darker, but it looks like the same kind of beans. Yep. Very small diced potato. And it's very soft. The sauce reminds me of like a baked bean barbecue sauce. But it's not sweet like you would think for a baked bean sauce. But the beans in this are still pretty firm. Now I'm going to go to this. This one has the sweeter taste. But the beans are still firm. This one just tastes like baked beans. Just gonna... Yeah, that's pretty good, Pete. Yeah, it does need a little meat. But this is definitely an improvement over the older versions of the HDR that were from probably about 13 to 15 years ago, something like that. Just stand. There is Puppy Breath in the house. Thanks for dropping in. So So for those just coming in, this is a 2021 Humanitarian Daily Ration Menu one. Sorry, I think it's my connection. My Wi-Fi isn't the greatest. Gonna have a drink of my coffee. Now this is supposed to be a banana apple smoothie, but it looks like the color of a French milky dessert. But it's got the consistency of a pudding. And it kind of has a slight, very fine grainy texture to it. It doesn't bother me. I've had stuff like this before. But there's no way you could drink this. You would have to use your spoon and eat it out of the pouch. Now back to the strawberry jam. Just giving it a little bit of a knead. And since I got the cheaters out, I'm just going to cut off a corner. So this is what the strawberry jam looks like. I'm just actually going to break this cracker. Strawberry jam is definitely pretty fresh. I just have it over here. Now this sunflower butter replaces the peanut butter in order to avoid any issues with a peanut allergy. And I'll show you the weight on this. Who doesn't want to focus, but it's 2 ounces. This stuff is pretty runny, as you can tell. It definitely tastes like sunflower seeds, almost toasted. Let's see, someone else dropped in. Steve Brahms. He also answers to Willie. He is my Iowa brother. And we are going to go pay him a visit, a few of us, next weekend. And we are going to have some good old camp fun. Now this, even though this is meant for a half liter, 13 ounces, is still kind of weak on the flavor. But at least it's not that obnoxious red stuff that you get in other USMREs. But you got to have something to drink after eating the cracker with the sunflower butter on it. Yeah, that is going to be fun. And if the weather holds out, it should be probably one of the nicest group camps. And I will be testing out a Eureka tent that one of my sisters gave me last year, that someone in her family, one of the in-laws got it, but it got used maybe twice at the most. So that's replacing my tent that failed last September. Here's an oatmeal cookie. Looks like your typical hard oatmeal cookie. But it breaks fairly easily. There is a hint of cinnamon in there. Others have said that there's cinnamon in there. There is Readiness Rations in the house. Thanks for dropping in. 2021 AmeriQuall Pack Humanitarian Daily Ration Menu 1. And this is a definite improvement over the previous version of this. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix these two together. This is the beans and potatoes, and this is the bean salad, and I heated both of them. See, right there next to the potato is a bit of carrot. It's like a carrot string, or you run a carrot through a cheese grater to make it fine strips. That's what the carrots are like in here. Let's see. Shockers. Joining Doxy Mom. Good to see you both in here. So I am mixing these two of the bean salad. Well, kind of the other one, it's not free, but it works. It's good to see some actual potatoes. One other reviewer got this, but hardly any potatoes. Oh, that's awesome, CT. I bet she'll be glad to see you. Hopefully you can have a few days of downtime before you have to hit the road again. I'm going to squirt a bit of the strawberry jam. And I'm going to put a bit of the sunflower butter on top. See what this combination is like. There is this and that with Matt in the house. Thanks for dropping in. Got a good crowd in here. At least for one of my streams, that is. And that works. The strawberry jam cuts through the dryness of not only the cracker but the sunflower butter. But I do like the flavor of the sunflower butter. Yeah, you get 2 strawberry jams. I guess they figure you would use one on one cracker and the other on the other cracker. But they don't think about what we like to do. I'm going to put a bit of jam on the cookie. Now that tastes pretty good together. The jam kind of cuts through the dryness of the cookie. And you know I have to do this. Sunflower butter on it. That one does make you want to have a drink or something. But that's not too bad either. Yeah. But this has cinnamon flavor in it. The cookie has cinnamon flavor in it, so why not do this? Yep, Tracy got a whole case of these. Several other people jumped on these cases when they're available. There's a guy on eBay who was selling them for a very low price. And the shipping was not too bad. I had it in my watch list, but I did not have the extra coin to grab onto it, so I didn't. But I don't know how many cases this guy has. I don't know. I'm assuming that they are from all 3 packers, since This one came out of an AmeriQuall case, and it had the inner wrapper, which is typical of an AmeriQuall MRE. Yeah, this could be baby food. You know, if say one of the creative redundancy from north of the border in the house next door up and in, say if one of the refugees who makes it into, let's say, my ancestral homeland of Poland is given one of these and has a baby that's old enough to eat baby food, the mother could feed this to that baby without any issue. And if the child is old enough, maybe give him or her the sunflower butter and jelly on a cracker. But yeah, dipping the cookie in here, that's the way to go with this one. But I am going to try a little something else just for the sheer heck of it. This corner up here didn't get mixed in with the bean salad. This is a beans and potatoes, and I put it on a cracker piece. The cracker gives it a little crunch, but no added flavor since these are unsalted. So I think I will just stick to putting the sunflower butter and the strawberry jam on the cracker. But this is definitely a good ration. And again, I'm very thankful to Tracy for sending this one to me. The other smoothie blends, some people don't like them. I would be very interested in trying the other one. But I am definitely enjoying this. So if you can get this AmeriQuall Menu 1, I would definitely go for it. I don't know if all of the sides would be the same in every one you get. If every AmeriQuall Menu 1 would have this apple cinnamon or the cookie or the strawberry jam and the sunflower butter and the crackers are common to all of them, I think. But if you can get this one, definitely do it. Well, you know what? I gotta clean off the spork. I'm going to squirt a bit of it. That was a pumpkin meowing in the background. A 2-year-old tortie I took in last August. after I got back from my family trip. So I put the strawberry jam. It gives a bit of a tart flavor, but it covers up any banana flavor that there is in there because I don't taste the banana much at all. Yep. I got my coffee. This is a Minotaur Trading Company French vanilla cappuccino in my 4-in-1. But I could have yet a little bit more fun. Oops. Almost grabbed the sunflower butter. I didn't want that. So I put some of the smoothie and the jam. The cinnamon flavor comes out of both of them. It kind of covers up the strawberry jam, but you get that flavor anyway. You get that little bit of tartness from the strawberry. But this strawberry jam is pretty good. So I have one more packet of it, but I'm going to hold on to it. Use it for something else later. Yeah. Yeah, CT, if you're down here in the States, the time changed this morning. Up there in Canada, I think it's a different day they do that. I'm getting rather annoyed with this time change. But at least here in Iowa, there is hope to fix that problem. There is a bill in our legislature that, if passed, it would send the time change packing, and we would do the daylight time all year round. We would not switch. We would be like Indiana and I think Arizona. I don't think they do the time change at all in Hawaii because, they're so far. Wow, my chat just froze up, I guess. There's Adam in the house. Thanks for dropping in. He must have snuck in through the cat door. But this is very fresh 2021 pack from AmeriQuall Humanitarian Daily Ration. Menu 1. It's got French, Spanish, and English for how opening it. It says food gift from the people of the United States of America. And a picture instruction showing how to eat the food from a pouch. But yeah, I'm definitely pleased with at least this particular one. And I have mixed the two. Get back in there, Bean. I've mixed the two entrees together. Yeah, that's what I wish too, Carla. And I'm hoping this bill passes. And if it does, I hope Governor Reynolds signs it, because it's outlived its usefulness. I mean, to me, you're not saving daylight. You're just shifting it. That's all it is. It's a shift. You know, we don't need that shift because people who work at night, they have light. There's light all the time if they are connected to the grid, or there is, independent power. Tractors have lights on them. Let's see. That's okay. Thanks for dropping in. Hope to see you, well, not next week because I won't be streaming next week. I don't know when I'll get back from the camp. And plus, my great niece by marriage is having a wedding shower. And if I get back in time, I will be able to go. And if my mom keeps improving, like she has been slowly, she's been in the hospital for a few days, excess fluid buildup, and she has dumped quite a bit of it. So that is taking pressure off of her entire body, really, not just her heart and her kidneys. But she is dumping quite a bit of it. So if she keeps doing that, and her oxygen saturation improves along with her breathing, then she should be able to blow that hospital and get back home, and we can get her some home care. So I visited her for a few hours yesterday. My sister next to me in age is there today. And my two other sisters, well, one sister has not gone yet because of her work schedule. So if she has tomorrow off, then that sister will go. And we're texting, we got a group text going between us, and we're keeping my brother down in Arkansas in the loop. So we are updated, and we have posted on Facebook so that our friends and relatives outside of the area can be in the know. Yeah, that's greatly appreciated. I've told a few people at my mosque when I was there Friday. So got even more prayers going for her. Oh, Pete, if you're referring to Alaska and northern Canada, and some of the other countries in northern Europe, where they have the few months of no sun at all, and then in the summer, they have no darkness, they have no night. Yeah, Ramadan starts It actually starts at sunset on April 1st, but the first day we fast is April 2nd. So, like Jews do, we start holidays at sunset and follow the lunar calendar. So, because the lunar calendar is 10 days less than the solar calendar, all of the months of the Islamic year shift back. So say like back in 2011, I was fasting in the middle of the summer, and now in the spring, so there's a shorter fasting time. And then in a few years, we will be fasting in the middle of winter, and we will have even less fasting time. Yeah, I've seen the show called, I think it was like Ice Road, or I don't remember the name of it, or just Ice Road Truckers. But the people who drive in those conditions have to work extra hard and be extra vigilant for the conditions that they face when they're making those runs up there. And it can be a real bugger if they get into trouble. Well, look who it is. All the way from Israel. Yossi is in the house. Thanks for dropping in. Yossi has joined Shed Wars, just like I have. And a few others are in here. Shed Wars, so I've been subscribing to their channels, and they're subscribing to mine. And I will get my first Shed Wars video shot after this coming weekend. I got to decide if it'll be early. I'm just my deck. I got those popcorn buckets that I'm going to drill holes in for drainage. And I'm going to figure out how I'm going to use that piece of pallet that I liberated from a trip to the dumpster. So that's out on my deck. And with the few days of dry weather, that thing should dry off pretty well. I got to figure out how I'm going to use it. Just going to put pots on it to raise them up a little bit. I have that shelf that originally would have gone behind a toilet. I can use one of my bigger square planters. I don't know if I'll be able to get both of them under there to stabilize it, but another idea is I could use my short bungees to bungee it to the deck rail or the deck post to stabilize it, because as it is, it's kind of flimsy. But it's pretty tall, so I can put my small pots up there to get them up off the deck floor. I also have those plant stands that have wheels on them, and they have catch trays to catch the water that drains out through the bottom of the pot. And what I might do is actually just collect that instead of just throwing it out on the ground. And then reuse that water to water the plants. Thanks for dropping in, Rachel. Hope to see you in a couple of weeks. So, the weekend after next, so I will not be doing a stream on the 20th, but the Sunday after, which is the Sunday before Ramadan starts, I will do a stream. And I'm thinking I'll go back to doing a USMRE, but I have a Norwegian Arctic field ration. I have that Chef 5-minute meals, one that is a complete meal, meaning it's not just an entree, it has a side, it's got it actually has some oatmeal or a granola cereal type thing with it, and it's got some jam, so I got an idea for that. I'll turn that breakfast thing into a dessert. But I have that, and I have another Lithuanian ration. I have a Minotaur Arctic field ration, and I have a couple vegetarian MREs. I got one couple reviewed before. I may these are new years. These are 2019s, all these MREs that I have. And so some things may have been different from, say, like the 2017s or 16s that I've had before. So I will decide what I'm going to pull out on the, let's see what that is. The 27th. So the 27th, I will do a stream. Since I have more US MREs than other rations in my ration box, I divide them or kind of switch them in between all the other ones. And I'm still hoping to do a collab with Aletha, but that will have to wait till after Ramadan, and she knows that. Plus, she's got things to deal with herself right now, so probably sometime in May or June we might be able to pull that off. Burger Button in the house. Thanks for dropping in. say hi to LJ for us if he's not here with you. But Dave and LJ have done some pretty awesome reviews lately. They've done some unboxings, some gifts, some awesomeness that they've gotten from other people. And someday I would like to do a trade with them, but it's hard to get trade items right now unless I create a custom ration form from all of the loose stuff that I have. I've actually done that for 2 people. I sent Gun Dog a custom ration that I put together. I sent one to Smokey. So I've done that a couple of times. Well, that's awesome. I hope you keep on healing. And I hope you get back on your feet soon. Oh, that didn't break where I wanted it to, but oh well. These crackers don't always break where you want them to. But that's okay. I still eat them. Oops. Sorry about that. This dang foam melt is very unstable. It's not a solid. So this is sunflower butter. It replaced the peanut butter that used to be in these rations because they want to avoid causing issues with nut allergies. And because this is a seed, it's very unlikely that someone could be allergic to sunflower seed. But that could happen. I know someone who is allergic to sesame, and it really drives him up the wall backwards if he unknowingly eats it. So the strawberry jam actually goes good with this sunflower butter. Yeah, no doubt, Dave. I've done some physical therapy too in the past for my knee after I had a split in my outer meniscus. I'll tell you, when that thing split like that, it didn't completely tear apart, but it was like a snap, and I'll tell you, I nearly cussed. Let's see. Have a good night, CT. I hope you're in a place that you can feel safe in, and no nutheads are coming to bother your truck, because that would not be cool. Let's see. So since Dave came in late, I'll show the bag. Menu 1. This is packed by AmeriQuall. It doesn't say it on the bag, but Tracy Phillips sent this to me, and it came out of an AmeriQuall case, and it had the inner bag that is typical of AmeriQuall packaging. And so the beans with potatoes actually has potatoes. Some people didn't get potatoes in there. And then the bean salad, which is more like baked beans. It's not anywhere close to being a bean salad that you would think of that you would eat cold. This is what they call a smoothie, but it's thick. It won't run. It's apple banana. It has a cinnamon flavor to it. And this is an oatmeal cookie. It also has a cinnamon flavor to it. And you can dunk it in this. There is more apple flavor than banana flavor in this. Which is fine with me, but I would have preferred to have more banana flavor. But it's still, it's called a smoothie, but you think you can drink that? No way you can drink it. You would either have to water it down or eat it like pudding. So this comes with 2 strawberry jams. Here's the other one. Oops, it's upside down. These are 1 ounce packets. And the sunflower butter is a 2 ounce packet. That's why there's only 1 of these. But I went ahead and mixed the 2 bean entrees together. These don't come with drinks, so I'm guessing that when these are given to people, it's expected that they either have a water source handy or they are just given a bottle of water. Well, I hope you actually get a refund. I haven't filed a tax return since 2010 for my 2009 taxes, because 2009 was the last year I worked. I did some private duty stuff in 2012 and a little in 2013, but I didn't file a tax return on that because that was only for a few months until my client could get into a state program where the caregiver would not have to pay for the service. So the relative who was responsible for my client's care paid me directly. And I issued receipts. He thought that was kind of odd, and I said, well, you can claim this on your taxes. You can get a deduction for providing care to a dependent adult, and you would need receipts to prove that you paid for the service. So that's why I gave the receipts, and then he went ahead and did that, and he thanked me for doing that. And Pumpkin is drinking the water or playing with the water that is in the pot that I boiled my entrees in. See, I'm just scrolling back through the chat. So I'm assuming some of you are talking about the cases of these that were on eBay that people were getting for, I forget what the price was, but the shipping on them was a lot less than what you would normally have to pay for a full case of rations. Pumpkin she's still sitting on the stove. Pumpkin, you are a goof of a cat. I'd never seen her do that before. She had been leaving that pot alone. And the water is warm. So I don't know what she thought about that. It's cooled off quite a bit by now, but it's still warm, having just stayed on the burner as the burner cooled down slowly. Let's see, I'm going to try something. I hope you can see her. I zoomed in. Pumpkin. She's licking her paw. Pumpkin, you silly cat. She go back to licking her paw. I have to zoom back. Zooming back out. I'll put you back in the mount. That's still not zoomed out enough. There we go. There we go, back to normal. Now, Pumpkin. Let's see, Matt is checking out. Thanks for dropping in. Hope to see you again. But she is a goof of a cat. She is twice the size of Mila. And I really enjoy having her around. But I will still consider her as belonging to the guy who brought her to me. just in the hopes that maybe he could take her back. But I was the only one that he felt he could trust with her. So she is very inquisitive. And she loves to play with water. I got a short of her in the sink playing with the water that was coming out of the faucet. But when she purrs, and she does purr, it can be pretty loud, so I call her Motor Kitty. This is the Tropical Fruit Punch, the Emery Star. It's different than the red one that leaves that nasty film that doesn't always dissolve. So this is, I just pulled it out of my my box of, no, actually I took it out of my camping food bag. I have other drink powders in there, but I pulled that one out. And then in here I have a Minotaur Trading Company French Vanilla Cappuccino. Let's see. Thanks for dropping in, CR. And Dave is slipping out. If that's it, I hope you have a good night. And I hope that you are getting warm weather soon. Today it got up to 58 Fahrenheit. So, I went outside earlier this afternoon without a coat, and I picked up trash from the parking lot and threw it in a dumpster. It's not my job to do that, but I did it. I do that every once in a while. Just to kind of keep the place looking somewhat presentable for the residents as well as any visitors. Well, Carla is gonna head out as well. Thanks for dropping in. By the way, I'm using my foreign Emery spork. I save all of these spoons. They become part of my emergency supply of disposable utensils. So in the event that I have to seriously cut my water usage, I can use these. And it is said that these are partially biodegradable, but so far the ones that I have put into bags have not degraded yet. Of course, I keep them clean. I keep them in a Ziploc bag. Then I save all these wet wipes, and I save these salt and pepper packets. I can have them in my camping food bag. I have some in the food bag that goes into my bug out bag, and I have some in my get home bag. So dip the cookie in the pudding. See, I could also barter with these things. So I just put these in Ziploc bags inside of. I need to get a solid container to put all those in, because the one box I have my assorted ration stuff in is just bursting at the seams. And then another one, Pumpkin has literally clawed off one of the flaps because she likes to run her claws on certain cardboard boxes. Even though I have I have two scratcher things available. She just will not go to either of them. But that's okay. I'm going back for more of this sunflower butter. I will be shooting some video from camp next weekend. Tack and Brenda from ALK Foraging and Adventures will be there. Robin of her channel is Redbird491. She'll be there. Brandon or BJ, Bearded CB82. He's gonna come out. And then Steve Brahms, who also goes by Willie. So in the videos, if you hear Willie and he answers, or that's Steve. That's just his other nickname or other name or whatever. I don't know how I got that, but so just don't want you confused when you hear him answer to both Steve and Willie. But his family owns the property that we'll be camping on. They have an orchard as well as a fruit and vegetable farm. They have chickens and some turkeys, so they sell eggs when the farmers market season starts up. They have stuff all ready to harvest from their outdoor fields as well as their greenhouses. So they already have a bunch of plants looking good from the last video that I saw that Steve Brums put up. So in the greenhouses, they also have flowers and herbs. So their orchard consists of a few varieties of fruit trees. They got some nut trees. And the family, other members of the family own some horses and other animals. So they have a hay field. And then they have some forest areas that they either leave untouched or they just clear out the dead stuff. Clear out, maintain the trails that they have established in their forested areas, and has a pond. I have not fished the pond yet, but I'm not going to take my fishing gear this time. There might be ice on the surface, so I won't try fishing. But at least I'll get a look at it and see what it's like. There is Q Kitchen and Beyond. Well, I don't have a lot of the food left. This is sunflower butter. It's a little runny, but it tastes like sunflower seeds that have been toasted a bit. This is a 21 pack, so this was packed last year, so it's very fresh. These are vegetarian. There is no flameless ration heater. There are no drinks. So I just pull out of my stock French vanilla cappuccino. I like to have my coffee. And this is a tropical fruit punch, but it looks more like pink lemonade. Not that nasty red crap that comes in other U.S. Emery's. What's left of my oatmeal cookie. Strawberry jam. I've used most of that packet. And this was labeled as a smoothie, but you can see how thick that is. No way you can drink that, so I just eat it like a pudding or dip the cookie in it. Apple banana flavor, but I do not taste much banana. Oh, wow. Q, I bet that's really eating your bandwidth trying to upload if they're going at the same time. I have uploaded videos from 2 devices at the same time. That might have an effect on my bandwidth when I'm doing that. But it allows me to get both videos up. Especially if one is a bigger one. And will take more time to upload. Thanks for dropping in, Mike. And I, again, thank you for all of the rations you have sent to me by Aletha the carrier. She was the courier, so to speak. I still got a few more of those to go. So, other U.S. Emery's that I have are all 2019s. So I will be getting into one of those. I switch off between the USMRE and the other rations that I have. So, again, next Sunday I will not be streaming because I will either be coming home from camp, or if I get home early enough from camp, I will be attending a wedding shower for my great niece by marriage. So the camp got put on my calendar before I knew about the wedding shower date, so I'm sticking with that. But then again, if my mom's health takes a turn for the worse, if I have to bail, I have to bail. But the way things are going this evening, she has made an improvement, and there's a possibility she may be moved out of the critical care unit. But that all depends on if another bed, say in ICU, opens up, or if there's a bed in one of the standard wards opens up, she may go there. She's nowhere near ready to be sprung from the hospital, but if she keeps dumping fluid like she has been the past couple of days, then that will definitely improve her condition. And it'll take a huge load off of her kidneys, which have been already affected by this serious amount of fluid that she has been retaining. But she gets solid food. You know how hospital food it can be. It can be hit or miss. But when I was visiting her yesterday, one of the items on their menu actually sounded pretty good. A lemon chicken orzo soup. I was teasing the nurse about how I can get a chance to try that soup, because that one did pique my interest. The rest of this sunflower butter, I'll probably just suck it right out of the pouch later. That's what I've done before with the peanut butter. I did that from the last MRE. Thanks, Q. That's greatly appreciated. And my sisters and my brother and I have all posted on Facebook, and we've gotten a lot of responses. And of course, we have been posting some updates. And my brother's in Arkansas, so we have a group text going on in between the four of us. Well, actually, five of us. For my sisters and I up here, and my brother in Arkansas, so we can keep him in the know. and our other relatives who either live out of state or are farther out from Des Moines. You know, they're reading our posts, so we're keeping them in the know. So here we still have the visitor restriction where you can only send one visitor to a patient for the day. You cannot, say for instance, Tammy goes for a while, she goes home, and then I go, can't do that yet. No switching, and everybody in there is still wearing a mask except for a patient who has the cannula on the nose or the BiPAP or whatever other medical device. You know, they can't wear the standard mask, you know, the surgical or N95 or whatever. They can't wear them when they got those things on their faces. Angry blacksmith in the house. Thanks for dropping in. I've eaten most of the food. Instead of peanut butter, they put sunflower butter in order to avoid possible nut allergy. This is supposed to be a smoothie, banana apple, or apple banana, but I taste cinnamon apple. I hardly get any banana flavor. And they put, these are all vegetarians. Strawberry jam, get 2 packets, 1 ounce each. Just nut butter, or sunflower seed butter is 2 ounce. Get an oatmeal cookie. No drinks, so I just get them out of my stash. Fishes and loaves live in the house. Thanks for dropping in. So this is my dinner. Humanitarian daily ration. Menu 1, packed by the AmeriQuall company, one of the packers that does the U.S. MREs. And other rations. It is a civilian ration. It's meant to be a 24-hour ration, but unless you're seriously having to survive on this, and this is the only food you have, then you do spread it out throughout the day. Get 1 packet of the crackers, sunflower butter, a cookie or some other dessert, the smoothie, which is more like a pudding because you cannot drink that. No drinks, so I guess people who were given these rations are either handed a bottle of water or they're expected to source their own. No flameless ration heater to eat it, so if they don't have a means to boil it in a pot over a fire or a stove, then they would just eat it cold. And but because they're vegetarian, they can go into any location. So a Jew can eat this ration without violating dietary restrictions. I, as a Muslim, can eat it without violating dietary restrictions. A Hindu can eat it without violating dietary restrictions. You know, it accommodates all of those. You get the and sunflower butter. You get the vegetable fats from the sunflower butter and what's in the beans. Some mains might be lentils. There are potatoes and beans in one of the two that I had, and the other one was bean salad, but it was more like baked beans. The two are very close in color, and I actually mixed the two together. So in a real field situation, someone would probably eat the crackers and jam for breakfast, or maybe the nut butter. They eat one of the mains and a cookie for lunch, and the other main and this pudding for supper. And that would be it. They do have a high calorie count, and the extra nutrients are included in the foods. There is just not a lot of food. But these are a 2021 pack, so very fresh. A lot better tasting and better in appearance than the ones that I had from, say, like 2013 or earlier. They had the Fig Newtons, they had a Pop-Tart, and they're always crushed. They had the peanut butter, or they might have two different jams. They might have a strawberry and a grape, or a strawberry and some other jam, or there might be two different jams or jellies with the peanut butter. Had the crackers, but the mains, they did not have this smoothie pudding stuff back then. It was something different. I would have to dig way back through my videos to pull up those other older HDRs that I've reviewed. But there's another smoothie blend that is in one of the other menus that I would like to try it and see if it tastes as good as this one. Even though this has a bit of a fine grainy texture to it, I'm not bothered by that. But I can dip my oatmeal cookie, which has cinnamon in it. I can taste cinnamon in the cookie. The smoothie has cinnamon in it. But the two complement each other. But it overpowers the fruit flavor from the smoothie itself. But the smoothie cuts through the dryness of the hard cookie. Unfortunately, the only way I could get real banana flavor is to haul Dupa down to a certain piece of Florida and raid Fishy's banana tree. I just sucked the rest of the jam out of the packet. because why not? These rations don't have drinks, so I just supply my own. Because you gotta have something to drink when you're eating these rations. You know, the beans can make you thirsty, the crackers and the sunflower butter and the cookie will make you want to have a drink of something. I got a French vanilla cappuccino, because why not? Just dug them out of my stash. And I saved these spoons and other utensils that I get in rations. I put them in a Ziploc bag. Same with the wet wipes. I put them in a Ziploc bag. This came with these tiny salt and pepper packets. There you go. A King Company, they have packed sugar for the halal rations, the U.S. halal MREs, and some of the civilian rations that the 3 ration packer companies do. Sometimes you might find King sugar in them. Well, join the club, Q, because another ration reviewer who was in here earlier before he slipped out, he's recovering from having to have his bad knee dealt with. He was doing physical therapy. My right knee has no cartilage whatsoever, so eventually I'm going to have to get some hardware. Just like one of my friends here in Iowa has done over the past few years. First she got hardware in her back, then she had one knee done, then she had the other knee done. So if she flies, she has to carry a document to show to the security screeners, which would explain why she would be pinging their metal detectors like crazy. Yeah, what they sell is the Mountain House ice cream sandwich. There are 2 flavors. There is the original vanilla, and then there's a chocolate mint. I have tried both of those. They both have decent flavor, but they are easily broken. So you'd be very fortunate to get one that is intact when you open up the bag to get it out. Yeah, the drastic weather changes, especially when it gets colder. Oh man, do I feel that. Yeah, my friend who has the hardware in her back and her knees, when that metal gets cold, oh boy, is that annoying as a word I will not say on the air. Well, when you get the hardware, or even if you don't have the hardware, if you have arthritis, whichever form it is, you feel it. And when I eventually do get the hardware in my right knee, yes, I will have improved movement. and I hopefully would be able to take longer walks. Last year I did a day hike with Tack and Robin in an area that had a trail that was not maintained. It was not cleared. The grasses and weeds were, in some places, taller than us. Tack and I are shorter than Robin, so it was a bear going through that stuff. So I had to stop numerous times because I had not done a hike like that in a long time. But it was a fun day, except the ticks. We had so many ticks on us, it was unreal. Between the three of us, I think we probably collected 100 ticks each. But we had some fun. We had some good food. Tack did a What the Food Friday. That's on her channel, where she brought us a food that was unusual to us, but not unusual to her, because she is Asian. And we tried it and we liked it. And we did that in November. We shot a What the Food Friday. Yeah, going down the steps is easier than going up, except when I'm hauling a huge load, because I ride city buses, so that means I have to haul my groceries in something, and I use a suitcase. I have a small roller suitcase that would be approximately the size of, like, for a weekend trip. I use one of those to haul my stuff. My cart that I have, it broke. I still have it here, but right now I just store stuff in it. It will not move because I have not figured out a way I can try to fix it, because I would like to use it again. But right now it's just storage. I have so little storage space in this apartment that I have to create it. But that little suitcase, as long as I don't overload it, and I am very careful about that. So when I do my grocery shopping, I take several trips. And when you have to do it by bus, you're already restricted in how much you can haul by yourself. Oh, that's good. And of course, grandparents love to spoil the grandkids. Just like a great aunt likes to spoil a great niece. Even though she's getting older, I still want to spoil her as much as I can with love. Even if I don't give her a bunch of gifts, I can still dump a whole lot of love on her. And my niece earlier I was saying great niece, but my niece, by marriage, because she is a daughter of an in-law, a sibling of my oldest sister's husband. She is getting married soon, and she is having a wedding shower the day I get back from camp. So if I get back soon enough, I'll be able to attend. And what would be doubly cool is if my mom could get out of the hospital before then, she would be able to attend. There is a cart that I have seen on Amazon. It's called the climbing cart. Because instead of one pair of wheels in the front or the back, it actually has 3 of them, and they are small. And when you roll it on the ground or a floor, 2 of those wheels are touching the floor. But when you go to pull it up a step and you go backwards, and it'll be the same if you are going down the steps with it, the wheel that is up in the air will catch the riser of the step, and as you pull it up, it will roll on, and then one of the other wheels will catch and roll onto the step. But they're pretty pricey carts, sir. I haven't looked at them lately, but the last time I looked at a listing that Amazon had, it was like $79. But that would be a great investment because it looks like it's built pretty tough. The cart that I have now, the handlebar that goes down along the side of the cart to connect to the front axle, that one literally popped a rivet. So I may try using one of those hand rivet guns to put another rivet in there. But I would have to find the right size rivet to go through not only that tube that makes up that handle, but the frame of the cart itself, or it's connected to. I wouldn't want one that's too big that it wouldn't be able to fold up, but I would want one that's long enough to go through. But yeah, I'll definitely experiment with that. And on the front of it, where the brand of the cart is, I put a piece of glow-in-the-dark tape on there. That way, if I'm pushing it at night, the light that it gets exposed to will make that tape glow. Now, glow-in-the-dark tape is very handy to have, so I would definitely suggest adding some to your supplies so you can mark things with it. Oh, yum. I happen to have some of that in my pasta preps. But you'll have to get your own. But that will be it for this one. I just have my drinks left. And of course, I saved the salt and pepper. I put it in one of my Ziploc bags that I have these seasoning packets that I can either use for future camping trips or I can barter with them. Yep, so it's opening up these rations and saving the unused parts is a definite. It's a definitely a good way to add to my prep, so that's why I do it this way. And plus, I just like using my titanium spork that I got from foreignmemory.com. Same place where this mug came from. Right now, they have mostly U.S. rations. I don't know what is in their current inventory. What they, I don't know if they gotten anything new. Oh, I'm sure Yossi's got something in mind to go with that delicious homemade bread. But I bet he's going to keep that a secret. You might not be able to get it out of him. But I'm sure it will be good. I would like to try baking, but the oven that I have in this apartment is crap. The light doesn't work. Putting a bulb in it is not going to do squat. So I just use it for storage. I have pots and pans in there because I don't have another place to put them. The kitchen cabinets that I have are just not big enough to hold them all, especially my bigger skillet. So I use my oven for storage. And my big burner on my stovetop does not work. I have 3 smaller burners. My stove is not one of those that has 2 bigger burners and 2 smaller ones. I got 1 big one and 3 small ones. So the small ones work. I just can't use a bigger one. And I keep pots on top of my stove because, you know, I got to have a place to put them. And one of those pots is a roadside find. Yeah, my mom used to have a convection microwave. So you could do normal microwave, plus you can use it like a convection oven. And that was the first of one of those kinds that was put out. I think it was a GE brand. But she used the living crap out of that thing. And of course we did too, when we got old enough to use it. But once it finally crapped out, yeah, it was a big loss because we got so used to that thing. Shashuka, or shakshuka. Okay, sorry, I had to look at it again to see the K in there, but that is something that I would be interested in trying. I'm a bit of a foodie. I like trying foods from around the world, and there are some things that I will not touch, like durian. I have actually seen them in stores here, but I will not cut one open. That door you heard closing was someone going out of the hall into the stairwell. I'm right next to the stairwell, so if you hear that door closing, hopefully it wasn't too loud because I'm a few yards from my front door. Yeah, I would like to try a shakshuka. Yeah, since I've started attending the local mosque and having the meals there, I've gotten to taste so many different things. Oh, that sounds good. Yeah, I have had a seafood boil that they put boiled eggs in one of the bags with the seafood. And then at an Ethiopian restaurant that I like to hit up for lunch, there is a sauce on a chicken. It's a spicy sauce, and when you order that, you get a boiled egg that has been soaking in that sauce and taking on that flavor. And that's really pretty darn good. I like everything in that restaurant. I have been given gift cards so I can go in there and get a free meal. And I can get a can of Vimto, which is it's a berry flavored soda. Oh, that's a crapper. Yeah. We gotta find something else for Fishy. Well, shoot, we're gonna have to find something else for Fishy. Oh, yeah, we had those snow crab legs in those seafood boils on Mother's Day last year. Those things are huge. They're loaded with the meat inside, and oh boy, were they good. There was lobster, there was crawfish, there was shrimp, there was potatoes, you know, like the new potatoes that might be maybe half the size of the mouth of my drinking jar. There would be corn cobs that would be cut to about that long. And one of the bags had a pork sausage called andouille. I did not eat that for obvious reasons. But it's a pork sausage that is very popular in Louisiana. And it was featured heavily in Justin Wilson's cooking show that used to be on PBS. He was a Cajun cook that had a show that I enjoyed watching when I was a kid. Yeah, that's probably what these were. But the way this restaurant does it is they use like an oven bag or some heat tolerant bag. They put the customer's order in it and literally cook it in the bag. That way they're not having to clean pots so many times. So they can put, because we had two different orders, two different groups of items. So we had two bags. They could probably put both of the bags in the same pot to boil them. And then my sister and I, or my oldest sister and I, went to go pick them up after she picked me up. And then we went to her house, and that's where we chowed down on all that goodness. And what we didn't eat, we split up between us. And there are also mussels in one of the bags. And although I didn't do it with the crab or the lobster shell pieces, I saved the mussel shells, and they eventually got broken up and added to my compost. I cleaned them, I rinsed them off first to make sure all of the residue from the seasonings and the meat got rinsed out of them. No soap, obviously. I just cleaned it with water. And then I broke them up and put them in my compost. Yeah, that's what they do. The marinade or whatever seasonings, they throw it in the bag with the seafood and the other ingredients. And then because I was not there to see it, I don't know if they seal the bag after it's cooked or they seal the bag before they boil them. I mean, they wouldn't want any of the aromas to mingle from one bag to another if they're different. Well, I started out with just a little plastic bucket. Then last year, what I had also transferred some to a plastic mixing bowl. And then this past summer or fall, I found one of those tree buckets that had lost its handle. It's one of those buckets that, after someone plants a tree and it has that wrap around it to protect the bottom third of the trunk, the bucket is attached to it. And it hangs, and I guess if water collects in the bucket, there are holes in the bottom of the bucket, and I guess that's supposed to allow any water to slowly drip. But there was one rolling around in the front yard of my building, no handle, and I checked the trees that are up and down the block. They still had buckets attached to them, so this one came from somewhere else. So I decided, you know what? I need a bigger bucket for my compost. So I brought that up. I rinsed it out. I did not use any cleaner. I just rinsed it out with water. And then I started dumping my compost from my little bucket that I keep under the sink. And that gets full enough, I dump it. into that green tree bucket, and any leaves or other bits of the trees that fall onto my deck, I collect those and add those. And then I just mix it up. Now, my bucket on the deck, I keep it under a deck chair so that nothing falls in it that I don't want to fall in it. And no bird poop lands in it because I got a lot of bird poop on the deck. I don't want any of that to make that compost too hot. That is about half full. And then I got a couple of bags of bark strips from sticks that I have collected. Thanks for dropping in, Fishy. See you later. But yeah, I have this couple of bags of bark. I'm not sure what tree it comes from, but it's like in strips. So that's all. I am going to actually add that. I might put that in just in the bottom of my empty containers. Or I just might cut it up and put it in the compost, or maybe use it as mulch. I don't know, but I will add it somehow. Oop, that's okay. It happens. Yeah, if it's one of those crank things that you have to turn a crank like you would an old-fashioned ice cream bucket. That would probably be too big for my deck. And I don't want to give up any actual seating space I still want to have. I got 2 chairs out there. I got a metal table that I brought from where I used to live. So I still want to have an area where I can just sit and maybe have an iced tea out there. Maybe you do a little discreet little burn. That table is a steel table, so I can get away with that. And I got pieces of metal I can use for a shield to kind of protect it from the wind and kind of hide it. But that compost will get added to the potting soil that I do have. I have 2 bags of potting soil that are sitting inside the shipping box. I got to keep them in there because I don't want pumpkin to rip into the bags. But last year I bought 4 bags because I had no soil to start with. And I added compost to that. But now I have all the soil that's in those pots, plus the one that I picked up that was by the shed that's next to the dumpster. it had a dead plant in it, so I pulled that dead plant out. But I left what other matter was, plant matter was in there. I left that in there. And so I will use that. And of course, that makes 8 pots. And then I have the 3 popcorn buckets. So I will have 11. So that means I can grow more stuff to dehydrate. Of course, last year I did nibble on some of my greens. And I nibbled on some of my herbs, except from the 2 chives, the garlic chives that did spring up. I gave both of those to my mom. I gave her some of my herbs for her birthday last October. So she got to, I told her I would do that. But she can't have any of my greens like my kale or my arugula or my chard or my spinach. She can't have any of those because of, it will cause bad reactions to some of the medicines that she's on. Well, I hope you can find something to plug that leak. There's this product called Flex Seal. It's stuff that comes in a can. Or I think you paint it on. I think there are 2 different versions of it. And it's a black stuff that looks like tar. But it stretches. Say if you put some on a tarp to fix it, or a tent, or maybe a duffel bag or something, or you want to use it as a waterproofer on a bag, you put that stuff on there and you let it cure, and it flexes with any soft material. But it can also be used on a hard surface, like plugging an unwanted hole in the side of a bucket. So that might be something you could try. Yeah, you can get the tape. And you could probably mold that to match the contour of that part of the compost tub. Yeah, I would try that Flex Seal stuff. That might solve your problem. Oh, that'll do for the coffee. So that's basically it. I am done with my dinner. And it was very enjoyable. Now I got a mess to clean up. Yeah, that's what I've seen that on a Sensible Prepper. He put that on some different things to either waterproof it or to cover a hole. And then he water tested it. And the tape apparently sticks to the surface that you want to cover. When that surface is wet, it'll still grab on. Yeah, I would definitely get that tape. That might be what you need to solve the problem. And if you need to double it up, put another layer on, or you crisscross it or whatever. That would be the way to go. So I really hope that helps. And because that's so simple to apply, you don't have to go into some lengthy process that would take days to do. You get the stuff, you follow the instructions on how to apply it, and if you have to do any surface prep, stick that stuff on, and probably wait a while, and then you'll be good to go. That way the buyer could see that you had to make a repair, and it would show where the repair was made. Now this is a composter. And those are usually a plastic bin or a tub that, depending on the style, this is a rotating composter. And there's a hole in it somewhere. And depending on the shape of that part of that tub where the hole is, the Flex Seal tape will be able to go, you can match the contour to get a tight seal. And depending on the shape and size of the hole, you wouldn't necessarily need to put a screw in it. This is not for a gas tank. This is for a composter. So once she cleans out the composter to prep it for a sale, then she can fix the hole, and it'll be as good as new, ready for the next use. If it's like a crack, you wouldn't want to try to put a screw in a crack, because that could make it even worse. Yeah, I would not want to put a screw in a gas tank, because what if the nut falls off on the inside and starts rolling around? Or whatever type of screw you put in, if it breaks, or there could be a reaction of the screw to the fuel. The fuel could have an adverse reaction or corrode the screw if it's not made of the right material. But because I'm not a driver, I don't know squat about that stuff. I have actually never used a gas pump. The only tires I've ever dealt with were trike tires. You know, I've fixed flats, I've changed the tubes, I changed the tires themselves on a trike, but I didn't know squat about doing it on a vehicle. I drove a truck once for 200 feet, but that's it. My dad was in the bed of the truck throwing hay out for horses. And he said I drove a straight line. I said, no, you probably compensated by the way you threw the hay out. Well, I think since I am done with my dinner, I got a mess to clean up. I got stuff to put away. I think I'm going to go ahead and call this one good. So remember, next week I will not be live. The 27th I will be live. I will do a standard USMRE. And that one will have meat in it. I got two beef ones. And then I have a vegetarian one, or a couple of vegetarian ones. And then I also have, I think it's a vegetarian Norwegian Arctic field ration. I got the Minotaur Trading Company Arctic field ration. I got the Lithuanian ration. I got one of those left. Then, of course, when Ramadan starts on April, I will not be doing my late reviews like I did last year and the year before, because we are having iftar dinners at the mosque, so I will be spending my evenings there. I will put up videos other parts of the day. I will do my Shed Wars videos. I will have to do those in the morning because I will head to the mosque in the middle of the day to do some advanced prep. And I'll just spend the rest of the day there and then come home. Someone will have to give me a ride home because it'll be too late for buses. Especially on Sundays because the buses don't run late here, which sucks, but oh well, it is what it is. But yeah, I will be tossing up videos, just no lives during Ramadan. Now we'll end on May 2nd, then I will be back to doing my Sunday night live streams again. So anyway, I do want to thank you all for watching. And again, thanks to Tracy Phillips for sending me this actually pretty darn good ration. And thanks to Mike and others who have sent me rations last year and earlier this year. So anyway, thanks for watching and catch you on the flip side.